Hello my lovelies, and welcome back, or welcome to, my channel for a brand new March setup. This month we're getting straight into a voiceover because your girl is a hot mess right now as I try to hammer through a large to-do list. So this month's theme for 2022 female-humanoid-creature-things is the Succubus, aka the hottie from hell that will ruin your life and look good doing it. The Succubus is basically a female demon that seduces men, usually through some sexy acts, and more or less ruins their lives, or takes it entirely. While I don't condone the acts of seduction, home-wrecking, soul-sucking, or life-taking, I do fully support being a hot bad bitch, so we're taking some of that energy into March. Without the aforementioned downsides. This theme is going to have lots of sexy costumes, gothic lettering, and horns. Not gonna lie, planning out this theme was such a roller coaster of emotions for me. When I first decided on the theme, I was so hyped. Then I started brainstorming and I totally blanked. I couldn't think of anything that I wanted in this setup. I had zero idea for layouts, color schemes, fonts, anything. Then I got anxious and overwhelmed and avoided planning out my theme entirely. Apparently I don't deal well with creative blocks. So like a week or two later, I went back to try again. I scrolled through Pinterest for hours, picking out different pieces of art for inspo. I watched YouTube videos and scrolled through Instagram for layout ideas. I drew out a mini mood board and another journal to help visualize what elements I wanted in my theme. Eventually it all came together, clearly, because here I am talking about it in this video. When I started coloring in this cover page, I used my gray Tombow first and layered the black pencil over it. It still looked way too gray, so I just ended up coloring over it again with my pen instead, which gave it way more pop, so I was happy with that decision. If you're wondering, I found this font from fontgenerator.com and it's called Blackletter. I'll link the website down below in the description. It's super helpful for when you're trying to find a font to match your theme style. As usual, all of the marker colors will also be listed below, though I'm layering the colored pencils over on top of them, so obviously the finished product won't be exactly matching the marker colors. Calendar is super basic this month, just squares and washi. Last month my calendar was a little more artsy, so we're balancing it out this month with some minimalism. At the bottom I added a little section for the focus of the month as a reminder to myself on what my main goal is. Next we're onto the habit tracker with another sexy succubus in a slinky dress. Standing on the skulls of her victims, I guess? We'll say the skulls represent the bad habits that I've crushed and left behind, or something. Some symbolism for the page. The other page is dedicated to meditation again because I'm still working on improving that. Not gonna lie, I did pretty miserably at meditating last month. I think I got maybe 5 or 6 days out of 28. But that's 5 or 6 more than the month before, which was 0. So this month I'm going to work on improving that consistency and ideally also the quality of my meditation. I struggle with it a lot. It is so hard to quiet your mind, especially when the anxiety is constantly reminding you of all the other little things you could be doing in the moment. Anyway, this tracker is comprised of a bunch of different jars on the shelf. Inside of the jars, I'm going to draw a little soul orb thing each day to represent if I meditated and how well it went. This next page is inspired by my girl Nadia at Journaling with Nadia. I've been struggling for a while to find a new layout for my goals page, and Nadia came in clutch with some brand new inspo. I'll link her video down below too if you want to check out her video or her channel. Highly recommend. So the top portion of this page has a section for your mission, aka why you're going for the goals you've set out. I thought on this for a while, and I've got a vlog coming up in a week or two on that topic, so stay tuned for that. But what I wrote for my mission is that I want to become a full-time artist who helps people connect with each other on shared struggles through art. If you're wondering how I intend to do that, you'll need to see the vlog. Anyway, below is a section for the goals themselves that will help me get to the main big picture in my mission. I narrowed down a few categories that I need to focus on to achieve that, and under each one I'll write out smaller goals to tackle. This page is going to be one I haven't done in a while, and one I want to get back into the habit of using. A one line a day page, aka a gratitude list. Every day I'll write out something that I'm grateful for, or a highlight of the day, whatever, as long as it's positive and helps me practice gratitude every day. In the bottom corner we have another succubus, and I was so happy with how this one turned out. I finally decided to take some time to actually follow a tutorial and learn how to draw faces properly, and put my learnings to use on this drawing. And I was so amazed with not only how well it turned out, but also how long I had been slacking on learning this. But we're here now, so that's what's important. I just recently started learning how to draw human figures properly too, so hopefully I'll be putting that into practice on my next theme. I didn't start those tutorials until after I drew this theme, so I did a lot of erasing as I tried to get proportions right in this one. Finally, we're on to the weeklies, and we're starting hot with a big portrait. Apparently I got cocky after the last page, and with my newfound knowledge of how to draw faces, I wanted to make a giant one. To be honest, I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but it's a hell of a lot better than anything I would have been able to make beforehand, so I'm happy overall. Oh, I just realized I've been talking up the tutorial for the portrait drawing, but I never actually said where it's from. So I've linked that down below too if you're looking to improve your own skills. My candle, sadly at this time, kicked the bucket, so I had to light another one. It's become a ritual of mine to always light a candle during my playing with me, so I was not about to break that tradition now. When I originally planned this layout out, it looked so much better in my head. Then once I added color, it just wasn't doing it for me. But live and learn, right? I think this would have looked better with a paler brown, but I didn't have one, so you make do with what you got. We've got another huge portrait on this weekly, and I guess this one is kind of like a succubus witch doctor gypsy thing with a flower, because you know I love flowers. I agonized over whether or not I wanted to color this one in. I couldn't decide on colors, and I didn't want to risk ruining it. But I knew it was going to drive me crazy if it was the only black and white spread in the whole theme, so I went with color. So peonies aren't red, at least not that I'm aware of, but pink or white wouldn't match the theme at all, so I decided to color it in with a gray base, then layer red over it for a muted look. To be honest, I'm not sure why I even chose a peony. I could have drawn a rose or a poppy or some other red flower. Meh, it worked out alright. On to week 4 with another box layout. In this one I added borders to keep everything looking a little cleaner than the last one. here we are, the final flip through. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing March full of great spring weather and happy vibes and success. See you soon in the next video, my first vlog. Bye!